Hey everyone. Um, yeah, we're just kicking it. Let's see. Sure. Yeah, we'll say that. All right, let's see. I'll put the link if anybody wants to come on tonight. I'm not sure. Natural hair today. You should know better. I honestly don't think I've had my natural hair since I was 12, maybe less than that. No, wait. I was getting my hair permed and dyeing my hair since I was like 10 years old. If you mean natural as far as like not a wig, I mean, I don't know what you mean as natural. People talk about that's a good topic, like natural. Everyone talks about, being natural, but like most people, women, have done something or do something on a regular basis that isn't quote unquote natural. I mean, let's face it. Either you've dyed your hair, you wear makeup. Um, there's very, very few women who've never done something to their appearance to make it look different. Actually, I had that discussion with a group of women once, and I guess when you get to a certain age, you kind of don't like sit there and like bash other people so much anymore. It's not as fun as when you were younger, you know what I mean? And like, you have this person bashing that person because they had something done to themselves, or, it's not natural or whatever. I mean, men do stuff too to change their appearance. They shave. Can you imagine if all men didn't do anything to their appearance, whether it's shave, um, some men get manicures, pedicure. I don't know. I've seen it before. Let's see. Let's take a look. That's true, DK. It's not, like, I think when you've grown into like yourself and you like yourself and everything, I think like the days when you were younger and you were like, oh, look at that girl. She's wearing, I don't know, whatever. I never really understood that whole, if I didn't like somebody, I just didn't talk to them, you know. Well, I have to tell you that now the the weather's still hot here. Let's see if maybe I can get a good picture outside. Yeah, I think, maturity, um, finding other interests, hobbies, keeping busy. They always say, keep your kids busy, make sure they stay out of trouble, keep them as busy as you can. And then you see like these adults who are like, I don't know what it is sometimes. Try to keep as busy as you can. Let's see. Well, don't like that's on tonight. Stupid hot and humid here, and I've been working on my house. Really? What have you been doing on the house? Yeah, it gets hot and humid here too. I think some of the only states that avoid that is probably like in the desert states where it's hot, but it's not as humid. Everybody's been complaining about it. It's hot, it's humid, It's like, think about it like this. It's like you're sitting in a sauna. You're exfoliating and sweating out toxins. It's good for you. Not really when you're doing a lot of physical work outside, but well, just make sure you stay hydrated. Yeah, don't overexert yourself. Don't go crazy. So, what are you doing to the house? What's on the outside of the house? We've done a lot of stuff to this house. A lot. Yeah. Did you just buy a house? Usually when you buy a house, you always have to put money into it because either something needs to, something's older or you want to make it your own and do stuff to it. So every time you buy a house, just make sure, you know, there's a little money set aside to fix it up how you want it. Because I don't know anybody that walks into a house and like, oh yeah, I just love everything. I love all the colors to the rooms, the flooring, um, the outside, the patio. Even if it is on the newer side. Unless if you get your own house built, then you can customize it however you want. Hi, Stephanie. Really don't like that? Good for you. You probably feel better about it after it's all said and done, too. You probably feel like, a sense of accomplishment. Aw, Pops comes in. Yeah, I mean, do what you can. I don't know. It's something about putting effort into something. And Stephanie, I know Tom said that you guys had a live. Wasn't aware of it. I don't even get notifications. I don't get any YouTube notifications. I think once you stop going on YouTube so as much, they just stop sending you notifications for lives. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, definitely get outside, get some sun. Don't stay outside too long, keep hydrated if you do go outside. But I know where I live, it's like everyone gets so vitamin D deficient around here. It's the norm. By the end of winter, like everyone's a little lack of sun. I don't want to make it sound like sun is a cure all, but okay, Stephanie. I'll send it to you. I think I still have your email. Actually, I think it's somewhere. Oh, yeah, I'll be working a couple of a couple of guys around my neighborhood too when they're mowing the lawn or whatever. You'll see them without their shirt on. It's the time of year. Well, some people around here they hire people. Um, I mean, I hire people for um like fertilizing, fertilizing the lawn. Like we don't hire people to like mow the lawn or any of that, but or do we did all of our landscaping too ourselves. Yeah, my neighbors, they were walking by. We had mounds of rocks in our because we took out all the mulch. It was the mulch project, right? Took out all the mulch around the house because I didn't like mulch. I don't like mulch. It's a pain. So I said I want rocks. Took out all the mulch. It had mountains of rocks. Neighbors are going by. Wow, that looks like a lot of work. I'm like, yeah, thanks. It is. To, well, that's the thing. Well, where I live, it's not like when I did made some deliveries out in the when I made deliveries out in the rural areas here, you have complete privacy. You have like an acre of land. You could do whatever you want. While I live in suburbia, where your neighbors are like, they're all over the place in close proximity. So, yeah, it's definitely not like yeah, there's definitely a difference as far as where you live, like what, I don't know. Actually, my one neighbors, they had a hot tub, and then they got rid of their hot tub. I said, well, I would have took a hot tub. Those are fun. The only thing with hot tubs is you have to make sure you keep them clean. Oh, DK, how's the kid? The kitties are doing good. The kitties are doing good. Yep. The oldest is really old. The oldest is, how old is he? He's got to be like, I want to say 17, 18. Yeah, they're doing good. So, Maplewood Park isn't that far from me. I would say probably 10 minutes from my house, a 10-minute drive. That's actually PK. Maplewood Park is one of the historic parks around here. There's a lot of like historical areas. Yeah, they have museums, you name it. It's like the cultural blending pot. They have every festival you can think of, from German festival, the Puerto Rican festival, the Italian festival, African American fest. I mean, they celebrate everything here. The jazz festival, they're big on music too. They have the jazz festival. It usually lasts about 3 days. You have to get a pass if you like jazz. Um, yeah. No, I didn't, PK. Really? Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, Maplewood Park, I that's horrible. Do I want to know what happened? Let's see. Who wants? Let's see if I could create. Let's, oh, that doesn't scroll across. Maybe it won't let me. Oh, thanks, DK. Let's see. Yeah, I probably don't want to know what happened there. Let's see. Well, PK, where are you from? All right, there we go. Oh, Delaware. 7 people shot and 1 dead. Let's take a look. Let's see. All right. That's horrible. Let's see. All right, let's take a look. What are some other headlines today, you guys? I did receive, I received to go for training for the election polls this year. Not sure if I'm going to do it again, but we'll see. PK, you know what's funny? Here. So I went through a couple things today, and I bought these a while ago at Target. Here, let me give you a good. Let's see. So these I got at Target. They had a sale. It was like a crazy. You could get like they come in packs of two. You got them for it was cheap. So I know I've been following a little bit of politics with the candidates. They're going around. They're doing their thing. They're campaigning for themselves. They have to tell us why. That's their job. Well, I got them cheap, DK. Actually, at Target. This was during when the pandemic was like peak. Um, they were selling, it was just crazy. So we stocked up on a bunch of supplies and still have some left over. Yeah, love. Unfortunately, yep, you're right. Was it on World News? I yeah, I mean, as far as I know, it's going to be Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. I and then their running mates, the vote for vice president. Well, I know Rochester is definitely. Did you really? Hmm, interesting. Yeah, well, back to the wipes. So these wipes, what I like about them is they're alcohol wipes, but um they don't harm you like some like I don't know like alcohol products hurt your skin and everything, especially if you have sensitive skin. These ones actually they're pretty cool. And they have them like travel size, so yeah. Crime is down. Well, I mean, I honestly don't know what the crime statistics are. There's always going to be crime. It's just, yeah. Let's see. There's always, yeah, something. I mean, Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. You have to love being a woman, right? We get special doctors. Let's see. I had this conversation the other day with a guy. I was like, "You men, you have it so much easier than women do. You don't even realize it sometimes." Enchiladas, yum. Let's take a look. That is not an occupation I would want to have. Maybe I mean like delivering babies. I could handle that. I could handle doing that. And for the women out there who've had babies, I don't think I don't think anything grosses you out anymore after going through pregnancy, delivery. I mean, like modesty is kind of just out the window. When you're in labor, you probably had at least five people down there, like looking, checking, see it, let alone your doctor. I mean, I'm sure somebody else was. Yeah, talk about. Everyone's like, you have to be modest and this and that. But when you're in delivery and you're delivering a child, you're like, I don't care who's down there. Is baby coming out or not? I was in, with my son, I was in labor for 22 hours and they ended up giving me a cesarean anyways. Yeah. 22 hours. It's like, yeah, I was going to have an all natural birth, no epidural. I was like, yeah, I got this. And I did. And it wasn't really that bad. And I did. And then towards the end, just, it was, they had to rush me. Did you get evil? That's the thing. It was like nobody could believe how well I was taking it. Like people stopped believing that I was in labor. I took a walk outside because it was nice out, and I had nurses running outside after me, like, no, you are in active labor. You can't leave. You can't just like walk outside if you feel like it. Get back in your room. Yeah, I was on the phone with people. Yeah, I got lucky. Well, until the end, and then they're like, yeah, I was in labor for 22 hours. During a lunar eclipse, my son was born. Um, yeah, it was, the nurses were like confused. They're like, you should be screaming by now. They hooked me up to a monitor because nobody believed that I was in labor. Yeah, they're like, oh, you're, yes, you are. But the thing is, and the women would know. So when you're in labor and when you go to the hospital and everything, they don't want you to eat or drink, right? I mean, they might give you like ice cubes, jello, you might get jello, but your body, it puts a lot of strain on your body overall, and then you can't really eat or anything. So I think after it was just my body, it was shutting down. There was just issues happening where they were like, yeah. And then within like 20 minutes, he was out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can ask everybody. People were falling asleep. They didn't want to be at the hospital anymore. It wasn't entertaining enough for them. Yeah, but it's one of those things. Like, yeah, I don't want to like sugarcoat it and be like, oh yeah, every moment that I had that I was pregnant was just like wonderful. And it definitely had its moments, but people, there's a reason why people usually have more than one kid too, because if it was really that bad and not worth it. Now, if you had to have like, because then you have like this awesome thing for the rest of your life. I, d- I was nervous. I was young. I was nervous, and I didn't know what to expect. You probably have seen those like labor and delivery shows, and they're screaming and and this and whatever. I was like, oh. And then you start seeing hands and feet coming through your stomach towards the end. I try to be. I mean, yeah, it was something. But then when he was out, and I looked over and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how big he was. I was like, wait a minute, he looks like he's 3 months old. And then it was crazy because he was a big baby. He actually was a big baby, which I'm happy about. So came on his due date. I'm kind of glad that I didn't push him out. Yeah. But cesarean surgery is really, um, there's a lot of other surgeries that you probably would rather have than that one. But at least at the end of it, you know, you get 18 years and more of wonderfulness. Let's see. Yeah, you're not that entertaining when everyone that's there to support you, like, leaves and then comes back eventually. Let's take. Aw, thanks, BK. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy carrying around a kid for 9 months and going through all of it, but there's a reason why people do it over and over again. Yeah. Let's take a look. I'm not. Let's see. So unless if so tonight. Hold on. Let's take a look. Well, honestly, I can't imagine being a guy, you know, being there for the woman and like you're, you know, you have to watch her, and like try to help her through it and everything else. I mean, you kind of have to feel a little helpless in a way. You're like, yeah, this woman's having my baby, and look what I did to her, right? Look what's going on now. I mean, I've been in like labor and delivery rooms where, yeah, you're right. The woman's screaming, she's like batting people away. Everyone's different on how they handle it. And like some people, they had a child in like 4 to 5 hours. But it definitely is. He was not. Well, so we all went up. I went into labor. It was around midnight. My water broke, and it was just like I was all prepared, because it was around his duty, and yeah, my water broke and everything, and I'm like, all right, it's time, let's go. And we went to the hospital. When I was in active labor, they're like, yeah, since it's your first, it was a big, it was uh, a big department that they had there, labor and delivery department at the hospital. So they're like, yeah, we'll hook you up and everything else. And like throughout, like I said, people like came and went, they got bored, they started falling asleep. Of course, I didn't get any sleep during that whole time because your adrenaline's going. Your body is in like full, just, you're made to have kids. Your body just pumps this adrenaline and no, well, he had to go and watch the eclipse, DK. So the next night that he was born, the eclipse there was the eclipse going on, a lunar eclipse. and everybody laughed. And I was really nervous. I was like, "Why is everyone leaving?" They're like, "Oh, we gotta watch this eclipse." Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were falling asleep, getting something to eat. Um, I did have a nurse towards um, the end of my labor that didn't leave my side. Like, she literally sat in a chair. I was hooked up to all the monitors and everything. And they even started to have me push too and everything. And then they're like, "No, wait, wait." Well, I guess for most women, your first child's usually the longest. Oh yeah, I would say she sat there, I mean, probably like a good 4 hours. She just sat in a chair next to me, monitored everything. Well, because like I said, towards the end of it, um, I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but that's when they decided that I needed a cesarean. Yep. But I know a lot of women, they plan to have cesareans. So they know the day that they're going to have the baby. And like cesareans, they really don't take a long time. You think that they would, but it's definitely one of the shorter surgeries. Yep. For all you mamas out there, and for all you men who kind of sat there, kind of helpless, like, "Oh, what do you want me to do? What do you want?" No, don't touch me there. You're not touching me ever again. I've heard that from some women. Let's see. Let's take And then it was funny because afterwards, I had people came up to people want to come up to the hospital. And they're like, "What do you want to eat, Michelle? We'll get you whatever you want." And here I am. I'm on a garbage plate. Everyone started laughing. Yeah, because when you're in labor, you can't eat. Well, apparently, if you push too hard, you might have a bowel movement. I'm not sure, you know, how accurate that is, but well, when you're pregnant too, you're just very emotional. Um, you go into like this cleaning, nesting mode. So like you're like everything has to be extremely clean and you get paranoid. You're moving stuff around for the baby, you're getting prepared. So I'm not gonna say anything about that anymore. If you guys see me and I have a live stream and I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be like 7, 8 months pregnant. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. I would say if it happens, it happens. Um, I mean, there's a lot of people, just in general, who don't have kids anymore. A lot of people. They don't have as many kids as they used to. It was common for families to have, 4 or 5 kids, and now it's like most people have 2 kids, maybe 3. I was actually talking to a gentleman the other day. He says he comes from 9. Yes, he said he had, what was it? I think he said he had 8 sisters, and then it was him. I couldn't imagine being the only boy out of 8 sisters. But he was also older. So I think like when the baby boomers were around is when people had more kids. Yeah, everybody was like, we gotta populate, you know? We gotta go out there and mass populate ourselves. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having 8 or 9 kids. Where's Michelle? Oh, she's just having a breakdown in the closet, trying to get away from, you know, screaming kids all day. Oh yeah, when you're a mom and like you go to the bathroom when they're young and they follow you everywhere when they're young. And my son would like put stuff underneath the door for me to look at. He'd wait by the door, the bathroom door, and he would shove like pictures. whatever he could. Actually, I can't even say pictures. Shove his hands underneath the little slit in the door. I'm like, I'm right here. Right here. Oh, baby stuff's the best, isn't it? Everything's so cute. And then, of course, with my son, I was so overprotective of him. I got um, his baby monitor had to be a video monitor. So I had a video monitor on him. And this was in the early 2000s, before like they were really popular. I mean, now you can get video anything. You can put anything. I mean, everything has a video on it now. But the video monitor came in handy because when they're babies and stuff, they might start crying a little bit, but they don't need to get fed or changed. Sometimes they just wake up and fuss, and then go back to bed. Especially when you're trying to get them to sleep through the night. Like, no, waking up every 3 hours is not necessarily a good thing. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna head out for tonight. I hope everyone has a good night. Here, I'll go and cam. Love you.